Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to Before You Resign from Your Job. Prashant with IIT Bombay 2022. So interesting, before you resign from your job. I mean, I would have hoped that things got to a very certain point for you to consider resigning from your job. Unless there's a better job. Unless you have pursuit for something better. But not because of difficulties in the job. But anyway, let's hear what it has to say.
Namaskar, Acharya. My name is Abhishek Yadav. I was doing MTech from IITB, and recently I've joined Baba Atomic Research Center as a trainee scientific officer. So, as you mentioned about we are losing the time. That what bothers me, and in relation to, I want to ask in relation to the career. I'm facing this conflict whether to continue my job or not, because the earlier what reasons I had for the job was money and position in the society, but it is no longer the reasons, which is why I'm finding it difficult to continue the job. I find psychological problems are more important to be resolved, but at the same time I'm facing this dilemma of public opinion. What if I lose the job? Should I, sir, continue with the job and find the purpose? Because these things are acting as an obstacle. I'm finding it as a career by continuing by being occupied with the job most of the time. I'm losing the time.
Um, well, let me see if I can answer his question, and let's see what Prasant has to say here. I mean, he said he used to be for money and social status, which is kind of weird. I guess he's not struggling with money anymore, as far as what I'm understanding with the question, which is kind of odd. I mean, is he rich enough to retire? Um, and I understand, like, sometimes, you just you gotta do your work, you gotta do the job so you can make money and live. um, oh, maybe it's perhaps not necessarily not making enough money, or maybe money's not the issue, but the fact that the reason why it was for money, but now psychological has trumped over money. It's like where he's making money and he still needs money, but the psychological issue, and this is very much where Advaita Vedanta would shine, is the fact of separating yourself from the job in some sense. Um, I do wonder what the psychological issues are. I guess difficulty working with coworkers and stuff. I know that's something that's kind of going on right now. There seems to be this, I don't know what you want to call it, but people not wanting to work. And don't get me wrong, it's low paying jobs and whatnot. And that's one way to raise the wage, just by, not enough workers coming into work. So they're going to have to entice the job to get people to come in, paying more money. It's like, oh, that's a lot of money. Let me apply for the job. Again, Advaita Vedanta is the solution, obviously, for a lot of things, especially psychological or any kind of most issues. I don't know if it's all issues, but most issues, especially dealing with emotions and psychological stuff. But yeah, it's very strange. I've never necessarily had an issue of, no matter what kind of job it was. Even though I did a job where I picked up trash, literally cleaned up stadiums and stuff, or I pick up people's popcorn and beer, and remember the foul stench that was accumulated in that bag when I was sweeping and picking all that stuff up. Whew. Didn't like that job, but I had to do it. And I thought of it in a positive way, like I always do. I try to with my jobs, is that it's exercise or working out or something like that. It was bare minimum pay too.
When you are serious about victory, you do not strike at the enemy without being fully prepared. Those who just plunge themselves into battles without having checked their preparedness are the ones who don't love victory too much.
So, in a sense, have a plan. If you do quit your job, make sure you have a plan of what you're going to do after you quit your job, or what does it take for you to get yourself out of this, whatever this situation is, into a much better situation. Plan it all out before quitting your job.
Right? Don't underestimate Maya. There was a reason you got into your current job. Public opinion, money, prestige, and all that. Have you so fully changed that these things won't matter to you anymore at all? No. So Maya smiles. Even as you contemplate your resignation and such things, she smiles.
Maya. I understood it as the illusion, Maya the illusion. I don't know if Prashant here calls it, I hope I'm saying his name correctly, calls Maya as an like a deity or something, just as a representation of the illusion. Kind of like how we give inanimate objects, their pronouns, like, oh, the car, she, or the house, or whatever it may be. We give it a, depending on whatever it is. But I'm assuming Maya is the illusion, Brahman, Maya, and he's calling Maya as a she.
Well, she knows that you are not fully prepared in the inner sense. So you will resign and then regret the decision because you have just not thought of the consequences. When you are to fight Maya, you have to use all your resources, especially thought. Think of what you're going to do next. And don't overestimate yourself. Know that you still have a desire for social sanction and money and such things. So if you resign from here, have you prepared an adequate and a better option?
I probably wouldn't say desire, but a need. Because a desire is something that you want and don't need. Money, I get that's mostly desire from a lot of people, but it is also a need. Because society values money is what you can get sustenance and housing and all of that. So I'd like to say that it's a need than a desire.
But you just want to hop onto the road and become a job seeker and later on curse spirituality. And that happens with so many people, in a moment of excitement, in a spiritual fit. They put in their papers. And then the entire life they keep cursing all the spiritual teachers and the books, entire spirituality itself. Oh, I tried to be a rebel, a spiritual activist, and I did this, and see, I'm facing the consequences even till date. So be prepared for her recoil. She doesn't let her prey escape so easily. Caught in the web of corporate job, as you say, you are her prey. If you make a half-hearted attempt to escape, you will only hurt yourself. Such attempts should not be made at all till the moment you know that you will definitely succeed, or at least you have a very strong probability of success.
I like how we don't half-ass it, basically, which is very true. You have, and what he said is very much true. Don't half-ass it. Don't say, maybe I can. Know for sure. Know for a good certainty that you will succeed. Absolutely. And I'm still trying to deduct what's Maya? Is Maya the illusion, or is he calling the corporate Maya? I'm still stuck between those two. Hopefully I'll get a better understanding throughout this video.
So look for something that offers you a purposeful workplace, where your job entails doing something more fulfilling. and also a place that offers you at least average kind of decent money, because you are not a realized saint or something. A small paycheck will make you feel small.
No, you certainly can't do very much with a small paycheck. But even saints, I do believe, still need ways to make money. At least, perhaps outside of certain parts of India, where I've heard from Sadhguru and Swami Sarvarpiyananda say that there are certain areas where they have high respects for these awakened beings. Make it like these saints or I forget what to call them, but people who are realized themselves, where they do offer them food and whatnot. Much around the other parts of the world, not so much, so you have to find ways to make money.
And then all spirituality will disappear. You have to be very practical in these things.
Very much.
So figure it out before you take the leap.
So it's just that what bothers me is the time is running out. So that was troubles me. I'm not able to concentrate in my job as well.
I fully well understand there is something pushing you to quit your job. I appreciate that.
I did remember him saying about time running out, but what time is running out? Did I miss that? Are you like, I know women kind of have a time in terms if they want to have a baby. It's the sad truth of the matter. Men don't really have that time. What time is running out for him?
But I also know the power of man's inner tendencies. That's what I'm calling as Maya.
Ah, okay. Inner tendencies, Maya, okay.
Today, because you have a decent paycheck, therefore you are thinking of job fulfillment and self-actualization and such things. It is because you already have decent money coming every month.
Yeah.
The day that paycheck disappears, all your noble intentions will be at the risk of disappearance.
Yeah, I can't help but laugh at that, but what I say is absolutely true. You know, right now you're making enough money to worry about other things. It's kind of like what Sadhguru says about hungry, one problem. No hunger, 99 problems. Right now he has shelter, he has shelter, he has water, he has food. 3 problems, all solved. 99 problems now, which is what basically Prashant here is saying, and what the guy is basically showing is the fact that he has taken care of the basic needs, and now he's still unhappy. But before, the needs were what's really worrying him, what's really troubling him. But now not so much. Now there's 99 other things.
So if you think time is running out, then act swiftly. Swiftly you figure out a better alternative. But without having a better alternative, if you blindly jump into the unknown, chances are you will not be able to take the suffering and the consequences. I repeat, because this battle is important and because this battle must be won, therefore one must not make rash decisions. Are you getting it? If you want to hit a 6, you don't attempt that on every ball, do you? You wait to get settled and you wait for the bowler to make mistakes, at least some mistake. So you have all these things in your calculation, and then the moment comes when you lash out. That is if you are serious about winning the match. If you just want to have your 2 seconds of bravado, then you can do anything. Dance at the ball, slog, miss, clean bowled.
I didn't understand his analogy there, then I realized it was cricket. So I'm unfamiliar with that. So I'm guessing obviously there's some tactics to it, but I'm guessing there are certain things that you have to set up in order to hit a six, to better your chance of hitting a six, which I have no clue. I still haven't watched How to Play Cricket. That's the only sport that I have no clues about, if anything. But yes, always have a plan. I think you can have a plan to find a better job, but I think probably the most important thing for him is to find a good guru, a way to separate himself from the emotion, perhaps. I mean, it sounds like he has a great job, but I don't know what this time is. I wish I knew well, I'm sure Prashant would like to know too. I don't know if it's something very private. That way you can better plan it. Like, it's kind of hard to give great information if you lack information. It's like, I'm having trouble, so it's like, okay, what's your troubles? I can't say it. All right, is it medical? Is it mental? Is it physical? Is it moving? Is it money problems? There's like so many things you can talk about if you just say you have problems. The more you can narrow it down, the more you can refine the answer.
I'm not discouraging you.
Just caution.
Right? I just want you to be adequately prepared. Because in youthful idealism, one rushes into decisions without being able to sustain them. Whatever you do must be sustainable. Are you getting it? So,
Yes.
take a little bit of time, prepare yourself well, figure out options, gather knowledge, do some research, so that the next place you go to is indeed better than the current one. If you just keep hopping without discretion, how do you know that the next place will not be equally bad or worse?
Interesting way to... And that's interesting that he put that there, is that if you keep hopping, I'm assuming he's taking, like, if you just keep jumping from one job to the next, and if you don't learn anything from your previous job and you don't take that knowledge to better your next job, you're kind of just bouncing around and having no way to go. You're just hoping that you'll land somewhere. But if you continue this, as long as if you do this job hunting, which is not a great idea, so long as you're able to learn from your previous jobs to better your next position, that'd be great. That'd be wonderful. And I like the fact that it says about this youthful idealism, where the young people tend to think they're invincible, that they can do anything. It's like, well, they kind of can to some degree. They have plenty of time to make a lot of mistakes and still continue forth. But you have to make sure you learn that very quickly. You can't keep on making mistakes. You have to wise up to your mistakes so that when you become a little bit older, you can make better choices in the future. Being young, being a child, being a teenager, being a young adult, it's your time to learn as much as possible to make better choices for the future. Because if you still are trying to learn as you're older, you are going to have a rough future.
Yes, so I'm getting your point. It's just that I'm not finding a valid reason to continue with the job, like money or position. So maybe I have to figure out what I have to do with the money.
Yes, obviously. See, you are the best judge, obviously. If you think that you are in an inner position to just discard the money and other things right now, this moment, then put in your papers this moment. But mostly it does not happen, so I'm speaking from a generic point. I've seen a lot of youngsters make idealistic decisions and later regret them. I don't want that to be repeated again.
Who does not make regretful decisions? Trust me, I think we all made them. One thing is, I hope we all learn from it. Have I learned from mine? Probably not. But it's too late now to do anything about it. Well, I guess the thing to learn is to probably not make the same decision twice, but you know, yes.
But if you feel you are prepared, take the plunge. Bravo.
For this thing, I am prepared, but for the public opinion, I have to be prepared for that also.
So prepare yourself well.
Yes.
Do your inner exercises.
That is public opinion. What I mean, there's a lot of like questions I have there, like time, money, public opinion. Those three things are quite important to determine whether you do something or not. What's the public opinion part? What does it even matter what the public thinks? I mean, again, it's probably just. Oh, let me put my hands in. It's probably because of the, I don't know, the different cultures, of course, I'm sure. But does it? I mean, does it really matter? I mean, I don't know. Again, I can't speak for whatever situation is in, and it's weird to have such. Don't get me wrong. I don't think you should have a terrible public opinion. I don't think you should be looked at as like someone that's bad, that you've done something bad. But quitting a job, that doesn't sound like the public should care about that. It's your life, your choice. Now, as long as you're not, killing people or doing something awful to people, that's something different. That is a public opinion for sure. Then the money aspect. I mean, if money is not an issue, my gosh, you must have made bank or something. You must have made a lot of money or something to just look at your finances, make sure you're good for 6 months or a year, however long it takes, and be mindful if you're spending if you're gonna quit your job, because I mean, you're quitting your job and it seems like it's a good job. And with these hard times, it can be quite iffy if you're going to get another job, especially one that pays quite well, it seems. Now, I know some people have taken massive pay cuts or got into like very low paying job, but they love it. They make like 10 times less than what they normally do, but they love the job, and it could very well be worth the sacrifice. I mean, imagine making 10 times the amount now, but you absolutely detest your job. But sometimes people will put up with that kind of. Okay, I'm done with the video. By the way, I'll be talking for however long. Imagine, there are people out there who will put up with that job just to make enough money and then quit and say, "I'm done. I'm retiring. I'm not doing this job anymore. I have enough money now." And there's a lot of people who've done that. I remember one company. It's a auto driving company. I can't remember. I think it was Google. As a matter of fact, Google is paying their programmers a lot of money where they work just like a few months or years or however many years, and they quit because they were getting so much money. And it was kind of funny. I remember that story. But anyways, yeah. Then so money. Make sure you're set up well for your next however many months you think you're gonna need, and then double it. So if you think you have enough money right now, if you need 3 months to settle yourself, make sure you have 6 months worth of money for your everything that you need. Maybe more, just in case, And these are not professional advice, by the way. And then 3, the time thing. I don't understand the time thing. He's unless has some kind of disease or cancer or something that that he he has a limited time to live, then that's a whole different story there. Or unless there's something in the culture that says that he must do something in a certain time, which I guess I don't know those 3 things. I just don't know what the situation is to give him a better answer. And I'm sure Prashant is probably struggling a little bit to give him an answer, because unless there was talks before to this, but yeah. But yeah, Prashant gave great advice, general advice. Really speaking, everything he said so far is good advice. Yeah, you don't want to just quit your job without having a plan. It's you could be throwing away something really good and now regret it a little bit later. Kind of like he's been saying about you quit your job and now you can't get your job back and you can't find another job. So you're kind of screwed with a job and money making. It's not necessarily having to make big money, but it's just enough so you can live. Let me know in the comments below. I don't know those three things. Well, the one thing, the time. I don't know what time he's talking about. I get the unhype the job. I get the money aspect, but the time. I don't know what time frame is he's struggling in. It has to be cultural, unless he has some kind of disease where he's gonna die relatively soon or something, which is awful, or what it may be. Anyways, let me know in the comments below. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.